Around the world, our world has many countries. Each country has beautiful land, it has its own rich history, and the people have their own languages and ways of life. Vietnam is a country in Asia. What do you know about Vietnam? Let's learn more about this place and its history. Did you know Vietnamese is the official language in Vietnam? The Ho Chi Minh City Hall was completed in 1809. 1908, built by the French, the building was made to look like a Paris hotel. Say it, Vietnam. Passport to Vietnam. Vietnam is a country in Southeast Asia. The country shares a border with China to the north. Vietnam borders Cambodia and Laos to the west. The Gulf of Thailand is to the southwest. The South China Sea is to the east. The country's total area is 127,881 square miles. More than 95 million people live there. Where in the world? Do you know Vietnam is slightly larger than New Mexico? Important cities. Hanoi is Vietnam's capital. It is home to more than 3 million people. The city was built around the year 1000. Much of Hanoi was ruined during the Vietnam War. Today, many people work in Hanoi's bank, government, and private businesses. Factory workers there produce food and clothes. The Temple of Literature was built in 1070. It is Vietnam's first university. Ho Chi Minh City is Vietnam's largest city. It is home to more than 7 million people. Today, the city has many markets with people selling food and other goods. Factory workers make bicycles, clothes, machinery, rubber, and soup. Cần Thơ is in southern Vietnam. More than 1 million people live there. Originally part of Cambodia, the cities became part of Vietnam during the 700s. Cần Thơ is known for its large inland port. People there make bricks, fish sauce, ice, and plastics. In 1976, the city of Saigon was renamed Ho Chi Minh City. The Cần Thơ floating market features many boats filled with goods. People can buy fruits, vegetables, and other products. Vietnam in history. People have lived in Vietnam since 3000 BC. Tribes from southern China traveled to the Red River Delta area. There, they met many Indonesian people. These two groups became the Vietnamese people. Over the years, many groups came to Vietnam and tried to take over. During the 80,000s, the French controlled Vietnam. The people were forced to learn about European culture. During the mid-80,000s, French explorers drew pictures of their adventures in Vietnam. These drawings were later printed in books. After the World War I, Ho Chi Minh became a voice for Vietnam's independence. In 1941, he created a group called the Viet Minh. After the World War II, it took over Hanoi. Then the Viet Minh formed a communist state. In 1954, Vietnam split. The northern part was communist. The southern part was not. The Vietnam War was fought from 1954 to 1975. After the war, communists took over South Vietnam. Life was hard for the Vietnamese people. They suffered as the country joined together after the war. Then the country began to create more jobs, and people were able to build better lives. The Vietnam War's memorial was built in 1993. It honors those who died during the war. Timeline 207 BC. The Kingdom of Nam Viet was formed. Today, this land is in the northern Vietnam and southern China. AD 802, ruler Nguyen Anh united the areas and formed a country. He called it Vietnam. 1930, Ho Chi Minh created the Indo-Chinese Communist Party. 1940, during World War II, Japan took over Vietnam. 1976, North and South Vietnam were united under communist leadership. 2012, Vietnam passed Brazil to become the world's largest coffee supplier. An important symbol. Vietnam's flag is red with a gold star. This flag was adopted in 1945. Vietnam is a communist country. The president is the head of state. The president appoints the prime minister, who is the head of the government. The country has 58 provinces. This is a large section within a country, like a state. The flag's five-pointed star stands for the five groups of workers in Vietnam. Trần Đại Quang became Vietnam's president in 2016. Nguyễn Tấn Dũng is the prime minister. He was first elected in 2006 and re-elected in 2011.